Oh, perfect. Hello, everybody. Been a little while since I've done some Magic. I've been doing a lot of these drafts sort of off on my own. Uh, and I wanted to do, now that the rank draft, the best of one queues around, I wanted to do some streaming of that. The traditional drafts, the timing went that a lot of them were split, and I don't like doing streams of split things. So, anyway, though, I've been really enjoying the format, though. There's a lot of different directions you can go in, even if the robots aren't the smartest. I've been told that they have updated the AI on the robots to be a little bit that draft. When I say the robots, I mean the seven other draft players to like realize that gate synergy cards are way better than they think they are. Because like they would pass like the gate ram and the gate colossus like and Gates Ablaze real easy, so it was super easy to just be like, well, I'm gonna play Gruul or Simic with gate synergies, and you'd have 9 gates and all these things, and it was really great. Gates still show up a lot. Anyway, what we're gonna be doing today, I'm gonna be doing probably a couple of these tonight. These are the best of one drafts. These are off of Eternal rules is probably the best way to explain these. We'll be playing against opponents until we have either 7 wins, 3 losses. The same as Eternal. It's arena style is another way of putting it. But yeah, so no sideboard, nothing like that, which does mean we are a little more liable to want to put in things, different things main deck. For instance, enchantment removal is real nice in this format. You tend to have a lot of high power enchantments across all colors. Azorius has things like High Alert. Azorius has High Alert, Rhythm of the Wild in Gruul. Azorius not only has High Alert, but has the Pacifism and a Guard Duty. There's a number of them at Rare as well. Things like the most powerful rare in the set, Ethereal Absolution, things like Theater of Horrors. So we have enough targets that like main decking and enchantment removal thing would be fine if we have that sort of thing. But yeah, so we'll be doing a couple of these tonight, I think. Just running through 1 or 2 of these. So yeah, let's jump on in. Now there's one of those enchantment removal things I was talking about. Cinder Vines, the art just pictured before us, is sort of like an anti-spell thing that also is destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's not nearly as good in limited. This is probably going to deal 1 or 2, like depending on the opponent, it's going to deal like 1 to 4 damage over the course of the entire game. And then, like, maybe blow up an enchantment and shock them. Which, Pteramander. I love this big old salamander. Big old ballooning thing. A 5/5 flyer is effectively invincible. There aren't flying creatures that can beat it in a fight outside of, like, rares. You're able to dodge all the death touch stuff, and so they have to like 2-for-1 you in some way. And the adapt on there is pretty, like, it's expensive. 8's a lot, but like once it's like 6, that's nowhere near as much. So yeah, Wei Song, thank you for the sub. Enjoy your gold slime. Other things in here that are strong. Smelt Ward's okay as a piker. Summary Judgment's actually the other card in here I like the most. Oh, excuse me. Summary Judgment is a strong removal spell. The 5 damage lets it kill some relevant threats, adapt threats. And 3 damage is generally enough to kill anything in combat. Oh, we got a number of them. Matafin, thank you very much for the sub as well. Seems like it's one of that time of the month, I suppose. Welcome. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Pteramander. Ah, Cuboid as well. Thank you very much for the sub. Let's go with the Pteramander. I'm a big fan of Simic. I guess we'll see where this lands, but Cindervines ain't enough for me to jump in on. Cry the Carnarium, that's fine. 3/3 seems to be the body unlimited, so this isn't as effective as I want it to be, but it's still pretty good. Incubation, Incongruity is real nice. And Incongruity isn't used a lot, but it can get rid of things like, you know, a Pteramander flipped. Rampaging Rendhorn is a nice 5. Sphinx's Insight gets the job done. So does get the point, really. Yeah. I don't really see anything that stands out to me in this pack, though. Like, I can pick up Rampaging Rendhorns and try to stay in a Simic plan. Incubation, I guess, would be staying on the blue side of things. There's almost no reason to be in blue in here. So maybe that means we want to kind of shift a little bit. It's a little too early to say, like, ah, it's gone, because all that's missing is a rare out of here. So that doesn't really tell us anything. Incubation's probably fine. Alright, the Rumble Ruin. Ah, Sorform Hybrid versus Lawmage's Binding. There we go. Now we have a real choice. So, Sorform Hybrid is the best 2-drop in the format. There's a few things that are, like, close on competition, but nothing that's as good as your Grizzly Bear is also a 6/6. Because your Grizzly Bear is also a 6/6 means that 6/6 is a big enough body that it dodges almost every piece of removal. As I showed, Summary Judgment into the 5 damage. Lawmage's Binding, though, is the type of removal that stops anything. This is the reason that you play enchantment removal in the main. So I guess the question is, where do we want to go? There's 2 Azorius Guild Gates so far. I think there was a Simic one in the opening pack. So that's not too big of a thing. I feel like I might go with the Lawmage's Binding and turn it that direction. I feel like that's close, but... Ooh, Night Arbiter, Senate Griffin, Windstorm Drake, and the Aeromunculus. Okay, so blue is definitely a place to be. Blue is a very nice place to be. I love Azorius Night Arbiter. This thing is just unblockable. Real big. Aeromunculus is also really good. 3rd Azorius Guildgate. Hopefully those all table. This is a lot of cards I'm fine playing in here. Ah, thank you for the sub. For the sub, Okinwi, and for the host, Gnome. Ah, and for the sub, Mastaza. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Azorius Night Arbiter. In my mind, I'm a big fan of this one. It stops the ground well, and it keeps poking through. Resolute Watchdog. Skitter Eel? Skitter Eel's fine. Exposed to Daylight's one of the few enchantment removals I like. I can find picking up a Skitter Eel here. This thing's actually a lot better than it like, you know, Hill Giant, because 5/5 is strong. It's not 6/6, but it's big. Night of Sorrows is a little too small game for me. I'm not really a big fan. Inspiring Order is fine. Resolute Watchdog is really good, too. I actually like this card a lot. It's very good for, like... So, one of the things that can happen a lot in this format is you'll go into combat, your opponent will have some sort of combat trick, and like Colossus, or +3/+3, and a Reach, something like that, and you just Resolute Watchdog to get rid of it. Another Azorius Gate. Syndicate Messenger's nice. Yeah, the Collision Colossus, one of the best tricks. I'll pick up Syndicate Messenger here. Steeple Creeper's nice too, but I'm liking the Azorius Flyers plan. Exposed to Daylight, 10th District Veteran, Viscopa Vampire. I like having 1 or 2 of these. Life Gain is nice to have somewhere in your deck. I think I'm okay picking up 1 of these. Might be a little early for it. I'm gonna pick up Slimebind, sure. Alright, so now we're on the wheel. Not much I see in here. I'll pick the Wayfinder in case I go into green. Order's fine. Interesting. So here's something that I mentioned, that they changed some of the pick rates. I didn't realize they changed the pick rates on the gates as well. Last week, you would have seen all the Azorius guild gates that I had passed right by in the pack, all 3 or 4 of them. So that's interesting to see that none of them made it back. It's more true to life, I'd have to say. I'll take one of those exposes. Alright. Tome of the Guild Pact. What do you got? Cast multi-kill or draw a card. Tap for any color. Big Spirit's a nice 3/3. Ooh, Sphinx a new Prov. That's nice. I like Sphinx a new Prov a lot. Yeah, it's a lot better. We have a lot of, like, kind of generic creatures around here with the huge Munculus. Don't think that may expose to daylights. So yeah, let's go Sphinx a new Prov, see where things roll from there. Sentinel's Mark is one of my favorite combat tricks. It's this like +1/+2 vigilance. It can also be a nice lifelink trick. I don't know if that's as true as it was, Gnome. I just tried to table... Like, I just tried to table 4 gates and failed. Like, none of the Azorius guild gates I tried to table made it back around. Like, there were no gates on the table. I don't know. Like, I know that I had heard they changed the gate one, but... Anyway, Angelic Exaltation is... I've not played with this, but I've played against it, and it's a beating and a half. Like, this is a card that gets really good with Sphinx the New Prov or Azorius Knight Arbiter as, like, things, or even, like, Viscopa Vampire, where it's like, okay, we just attack, get +4/+4, and go. I want to try this out. I think I would normally pick, like, Sentinel's Mark here, but Angelic Exaltation is real. Ooh, on-color Guild Mage, my friend. The Guild Mage in here is really good. Like, so, a lot of the guild mages I have problems with. Like, a lot of the guild mages, I'm like, oh, this isn't, like, this is really weird. Why is this? Senate guild mage is real damn straightforward. Gain 2 life is real nice, and, draw a card, then discard a card is like, super good at looting on a 2/2. So, let's go ahead and grab that down. I think I'm gonna grab the gate here. I don't want Order or Huge Munculus, and we haven't been seeing them around. Clear the stage is cool. Actually, the black in here is very nice. Not the bankrupt as much, but I think everything else in here. Alright, Twilight Panther is better if we had black. We don't. I already have an expose. Well, yeah, Exalt, like, so, Angelic Exaltation is literally the card, is literally Sublime Archangel on an enchantment. And Sublime Archangel was, what's the word for Sublime Archangel? An auto-win? An auto-win. I think you just won the game when you, like, played that in Limited, so... I'm just gonna grab Watchful Giant here. I don't really care too much. It looks like we're not getting too terribly much here. Sphinx is inside. I do want 1 or 2 Petitioners. I like those in the mirror. Sure, let's get a counter going. I saw more of the... Here we go, so we can get one of these Petitioners. So, weirdly enough, Mill is sort of relevant in this format. You can end up in a number of matchups where, like, you just... Neither player actually has the ability to go past the other. And having something like Petitioners or, like a counter Mill 3 is enough to make sure that you're the one winning in the hyper late game. And yeah, again, no gates tabling. We're in the table zone, and there's just nothing coming around. Wallace thoughts. Quench. Alright, so pack 3. Teysa. Teysa is, Baron Rivendare. Your things that die double trigger, and your creature tokens have vigilance and lifelink. Essence Capture Sphinx of the Guild Pact. There's no actual green in this deck. That's a lie. We are straight, like, this is not... Yeah. Oh, dear. I really wish that didn't make the loud noise when it has that problem like that. I like Essence Capture. I like Sphinx of the Guild Pact. I don't think Teysa does anything for us. Teysa's really good in some certain constructed decks. Like, I think I could go with Sphinx of the Guild Pact. It's either Sphinx of the Guild Pact or the Essence Capture. Essence Capture is real strong if we do have early drops. It's not very good on Terramander, though, because you lose your adapt. Get out of here with this garbage. Yeah, protection... Sorry, not protection from monocolored. Hexproof from monocolored. So, you know, let's go with the Sphinx. Spirit of the Spires, Dovin's Acuity. Dovin's Acuity is like, oh, is nowhere near. This is not disinformation. It's not even information. This card doesn't really do anything. Honestly, most of the time when I see people play this card, they mill out. Because they play this, and then they had Rester's Admonition, and then they play this again, and then they, like, look at their hand, and they're like, wait, none of my cards do anything. We're gonna go with Spirit of the Spires. This is a really nice flyer. This is an Azure Drake with text, and that text is pretty relevant. Alright. No. Damn. Sage's Savant. I actually want one of those. More Slimebind. I don't think I need another Syndicate Messenger. I think I'm okay here. I think I like this too. This is a really good 2-drop. Grasping Thrill, Exposed to Daylight. Now we're not seeing much of anything that I actually want to add in here. Another Eel, I suppose? Yeah, I guess another Eel. Grasping Thrall is really strong. It's one of the best Orzhov commons. Probably is the best Orzhov common. Alright, here we can pick up Essence Capture. I actually like having one of those counter spells. Sentinel's Mark is another good add. So Sentinel's... Oh, that's a nice ram. Picks the gate over the ram? That's incredible. Unlikely, too. Don't mind me, I'm trying to fix things, but clearly nothing's working, so apologies for the frame rate on everything. Feel like it was a mistake to even try to do things today. Thought Collapse is fine. I don't know. 3 is going to be overkill on that. 4 is way overkill on that. I think I'll lock it, though. Essence Capture makes it back around along with the Sage's Row. I'll actually take another Essence Capture. Couple Petitioners. Alright. So let's go ahead and build our Azorius deck here. Really wish it just started empty. Having to do this to start every build is always annoying. Alright. So, we want Angelic Exaltation, Passionate Order, Theramander, Essence Captures, Slime Bind. All our multicolored stuff is going to be in here. Yep, you're good. Sphinx is fine. 33. Couple Thought Collapses, Petitioners, some Eels, a Messenger. One of the Daylight Killers. Like a Locket Vampire. Don't mind me, I'm adding over 40 right now because I want to get to a point where I can better look at the deck. Alright. So, 2 drops, we've got... I don't think we need the Petitioners if I got 2 Thought Collapse and the Wall. The whole point of the Petitioners do a lot more in a best of 3 when you can sideboard them in. So I think we take one of those out. Viscova Vampire is really nice with Angelic Exaltation. Do I need to main deck the Exposed to Daylight if I'm playing 2 Thought Collapse? What does Screaming Shield do? It's real expensive. 1 to play, 3 to equip. Equipped creature gets +3 toughness, and 2 tap, mill 3. I think I'm gonna cut out the Exposed to Daylight. Like one of the Eels? It's not even that great for the mill plan because it's so expensive. The only time I've ever really liked that card is in the High Alert deck, which is creatures deal damage with their toughness. Because then it's +3/+3, which is a way different math, you know. Alright, what am I at creatures-wise? 14 creatures, 10 non-creatures? So I don't really want to cut out a Skitter Eel. It's cutting a little too close. Maybe I want to cut out a Slime Bind, or... I like Sentinel's Mark. 2 Essence Capture. Maybe the Thought Collapse, because I have 2 Essence Capture. Maybe that's fine. Because we still have, like... Binding... Slime Bind, Counterspell, 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 Mark in Combat. I want to keep this for the card draw. Okay. Let's try this out. I'm very hopeful about Exaltation with Night Arbiters. Alright, let's give it a whirl, see how this rolls. So I've not played Best of 1 yet on here. I've played a lot of Best of 3, which is definitely a different world. You actually have the ability to sideboard Space Case 83, born in the year 1983. Oh, goodness. 2/2/2/3/3, 2-lander. Not a lot live unless I draw my 3rd land. Hear about Order, and then I can, like, mark Order 3. Senate Courier is good. Owl for defense. Let's see where this goes. Okay, Order. Really would like to draw that 3rd land for Vampire, and I guess we want it to be blue for Capture. I think the best thing they can do is a 1/2 Death Touch here. Alright, let's... Best of 1 and Best of 3 are very different formats. And are treated differently. You have different mulligan or hand generation rules. You have different choices on who starts. Okay, if they have land, exile a creature with 3 power or less, we're in a bad place. That's worst case. Because that's a flat 2 for one that ends very poorly for us. I want to draw... Well, I can pay that. I don't give a crap. Alright. I'm gonna play Viscopa Vampire. So, the turn I care about having Essence Capture up is actually 5. Because you can counter Grasping Thralls. That's the big thing I care about. There are some 4s that are worth countering, of course, but... Like, unless they're what, like, I don't know... Teysa followed by a bunch of... Like... Yeah, that ain't one of them. Okay, so yeah, we want to leave up Essence Capture next turn if possible. Which does indeed seem possible. Okay, cool. Let's pass it back. We'll capture their Grasping Thrall they play on 5. We'll get a counter on Orator, I suppose? Yeah, the Thirsty Shade's big thing is having lifelink in 8. It's real expensive to pump. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way you go in with anything else here. Okay, give me the Thrall, please. I don't want to be holding up my mana forever. God, that's such a nothing, though. That's not worth it. Like, that's nothing against Impassioned Order. Okay, one of the best blockers we can have, gain some life back, and then ship it back to our opponent. Giving Senate Courier +1/+1 counter here looks pretty good. Okay, Gate. It's got the bells. Well then. I guess we're just gonna continue deploying threats. Syndicate Messenger is the pretty obvious 1/1 counter target. Getting Terramander down is gonna look real nice too, because this has the adapt soon. Past Terramander, we actually have no reason to play the lands out of our deck. We do have a Looter in the deck, so holding on to lands past like 8. 7 or 8. Actually, the Sphinx. So playing our 7th land is worth it. Playing the 8th, not really. So. Final Judgment? Final... Am I getting Roused Howard? I feel like I'm getting Roused Howard here. Sack your Oligarch, kill my Impassioned Order. It's okay. I have a lot of flying blockers, so it doesn't really matter. So these are the types of stalls I was talking about, these game states where, like, neither player can really make a advancing foothold. It's also what I talked about Terramander being really good against. What are we doing? Are we actually doing the Grasping Thrall? I'll counter the Grasping Thrall. I really want to. Hey! Give me that shit. Called that before I walked in the room. Sweet, I even get to keep up another counterspell. Yeah, these sorts of things are where the incidental mill gets nice. Alright, so we're gonna have to be a little careful on what threats. Our opponent missed a land drop, meaning they have a lot of live cards in hand. So, because we're not really pressing a ground advantage, I want to be careful on what I choose to counter here. I really don't want to let that die. I wasn't willing to actually counter most ground creatures that got played here, but I was willing to counter removal on my Syndicate Messenger. The big thing about this counter spell is that it means my Terramander's on. Alright. 2 lands and a Sky Tether. Sky Tether gone's nice. Terramander can flip out. Another Essence Capture, my friend. Okay, let's let Terramander flip out, see if they have the Exile or not. Okay. We have a lot of flying pressure. This is nice. Pretty happy with the position we're currently in. Ooh. Nice trick. Okay, now what can they have that... God, they have so many cards in hand that really scares me. They can't be off a color. There's no way. They just must have the haymakers. That's an annoyance. I guess I can attack past it a little bit, but... There we go. That's the kind of haymaker I wanted to see. We talked about how Sublime Archangel is, strong. Sublime Archangel was a mythic rare. Angelic Exaltation is a bomb in basically every sense. Sure, I don't care about that. That's an irrelevant body. Ooh, let's actually learn. I like learning. One of the other things, I guess we're not, oh, sorry. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, we're learning, but it's not a best of 3, so, like, what does this mean? One of the best things I like about Wall of Lost Thoughts is that you get to know your opponent's deck better for your future games. You get to know they have Crocodile, and, oh, we've got all these nice creatures. This format has some stupid strong uncommon enchantments. Yeah, the Rhythm of the Night gets the job done real quickly. Wow, just Mortify, huh? Problem is that doesn't... Oh, no, you've, oh, my friend. You've made a mistake. The card's got a real important word on it you didn't, Yeah, I disagree with that play pretty heavily. Like, how many Mortifies are you on? Oh, okay. Just on the most powerful enchantment, huh? Shit, my Essence Capture can't counter that. Okay. That's quite bad. Ethereal Absolution is easily the most powerful. Oh my god, I don't have the mana for that. So this thing generates flyers by exiling creatures from my grave. We've got 3 down there, so 3/2/2 flyers and show up on the opponent's side of the table. Yeah, they can just do that and win the game pretty handily. We need to find a way to sneak on through. If I didn't have my angelic exaltation, we'd be way out of this game. But as it is, I feel like we don't have it. We have a very small chance. Anyway, this was the type of thing that had me thinking about main decking that enchantment hate. I figured the counter spells would do it, but you know, clearly this is counter target creature spell. Okay, we do have the life cushion to afford to just take these hits. I would love to top deck a land so I can play the Sphinx. Like, the Sphinx getting through here would be really nice. It's hard to kill. It's a good flyer for blocking. I think they just activate their... Oh, sweet. Oh, my God. Hell yes. I'm in. Perfect. Caught my opponent on shields down, so I can hit with the Senate Courser. We get our 4/4 Sphinx of the Guild Pact, which can interact pretty well with most things. And Sphinx of the Guild Pact is really hard to interact with. Protection from... Sorry, I keep saying protection because I keep thinking of... They basically have to have Roused Hour to kill it. Hexproof from monocolored. Cannot be targeted by monocolored spells or abilities. So they can make flyers for quite some time here. We can attack for lethal every turn with Sphinx of the Guild Pact. That's pretty nice. Mortify would work. If they have a second one, that's real good. The other thing that can work is something like a... Okay, so they're just going to Ethereal Absolution, make some blockers, which is a pretty reasonable line of play. I want to draw a creature that stays in play so Senate Courser can attack for lethal. Yeah, that's Roused Hour. Final... Oh, God. What the hell's Roused Hour's actual name? Fuck. Payment. The black-white, sack a creature and enchantment, or pay 5 life, destroy target creature. I don't like attacking with the Senate Courser because it's not lethal. They chomp. I'm at 20. Let's just go in. So yeah, there's the chump block. So what are we looking for? We're looking for... Unblockable Knight? Unblockable Knight wins the game the next turn after we play it, because it attacks for 6. So Unblockable Knight would be one of the best top decks we could have. Any type of removal is pretty good. It would be, maybe we can sneak through if our opponent makes a problem attack. Their shade's worrying, but they keep tapping out. So, like, I can just block that shade with Senate Courier. I don't like that they gain life off it, but... Well, we're out of counterspell +1/+1 counters. We've used all those. What does our opponent have for deck size? 9 cards, huh? Alright. Okay, happy to see no combat. Oh, no, they are going in. I thought that was just a flat no combat here. Yep, and they've figured out that they can do some pretty heavy attacks. So we just need to block the shade. We'll take 9, go to 11, but we don't give them any more ammunition, because right now we have no creatures in the grave, and this is just... The absolution is just from opponent's grave. So yeah, 1 pump. The annoying part there is it means the Sphinx is no longer lethal. Beautiful. Okay, let's go in with a Vigilant Senate Courier. So I'm going in before I play the Night Arbiter to see if they'll actually let me through. I figure if I go for less damage, there was a chance that got in. Anyway, our actual win condition is here. 2 attacks from Night Arbiter says this game's over. Now we have a 4/4 flyer on the defense. Things are looking nice. Hopefully they don't have removal that could... Okay, Grasping Thrill's not great. That's a little big. We just need to last 2 rounds is what we're missing here. Can I kill that Thirsting Shade? No, but they can only pump it once. So I can actually block it effectively. We got Sphinx of the Guild Pact to block pretty well. Impassioned Orator can maybe block okay on the ground. I don't like killing their Oligarch. That's kind of a problem. Full pass, hell yes. That extra point of toughness matters a ton. Because now we can block Grasping Thrall. Let's get in for 7. Let's put our opponent to 4. Cannot be blocked. Put them to 4. And now that means that next turn they are dead to the Arbiter. All the Arbiter needs is a little bit of backup. It needs itself and 2 other creatures backing it, though the Thirsting Shade might make that a little bit more of a problem. We'll see. So I need to leave a bit of a body around. I need to leave Senate Courier, I need to leave Sphinx of the Guild Pact, I need to leave certain cards on the table if possible. So we can't just go all out blocking. Twilight Panther's an irrelevant play. That's good. A draw that's nothing is great. Using that mana's great. Thirsting Shade can plus 3 times here. Alright, we just need to make sure we're not taking a lethal attack. That's all that matters this round, is we are not taking a lethal attack. Okay, full out, which makes sense. Alright, so we are at 11. We need to not take lethal damage. So, let's block on flyer on flyer. Let's block on Forbidding Spirit. Block over here. Probably put the wall in front of the Thirsty Shade, and then we're taking just the Imperial Oligarch. Now, here, how does that result in our having enough creatures to live? Our opponent's going to gain 5 life off this. I don't really like that. That's not great. Are there ways to prevent that from happening? Not especially. Doing a little bit of looking around. I could kill off... Let's risk it. If they have a trick, they have a trick. But I think we need to risk it to keep ourselves alive. Dun, 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 dun. Because if they have a trick, we lose the Spirit of the Spires. And if we lose the Spirit of the Spires, we lose a little bit too much of our board. So we can't play around a trick existing. So we're just going to lose Wall of Lost Thoughts. We're going to keep 5 creatures, be able to attack in for 6. Which isn't lethal, but we've done a lot of damage to our opponent's board. If they do have a trick, things are bad, but I assume they're just going to pump Thirsty Shade 3 times. Okay. Perfect. My turn. So, one thing they didn't account for here, Azorius Night Arbiter attacks for 6. You might think, well, gents, that's not lethal. That sucks. We're going to lose the crackback. Sphinx of the Guild Pact attacks for 9. That is lethal. We beat a damn Absolution. Oh, that feels real good. They needed to not tap out there. They needed to leave up 1 Absolution trigger. They focused too much on my unblockability to their detriment. They should have killed our enchantment. Indeed. So, yeah. Again, the Exalted Enchantment is incredibly... Karn is here. Alright, let's see if our dreams are this looks very bad. What was the main phase buff? Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life. Was the buff on that if you main phased it, which, that's nice. We need the life in that situation. This is unkeepable. Angelic Exaltation's nice, but if we had a blue, I'd be fine on this, but we just don't. Yeah, I can't keep this. We have to mulligan. Okay, I'm not happy with this hand either, but the locket makes it a lot more powerful. God, I'm gonna keep it on top. I don't like it. But, like, I need the 3rd land. I can't just get rid of it because I don't have white. Like, I need to... Oh, and our opponent's Gruul, huh? Alright. We gotta keep it going. Alright, how Gruul are we talking? Gravelhide, that's pretty Gruul. Okay. Now, let's see if they are like... Oh, okay, we need to start moving fast then. Let's get down Spires. 7 cards in hand, no plays. They still have a play, clearly. They're passing rather than making them. Okay, land off the top. A little live before. Clamor Shaman. Alright, just coming on in. Haste Riot, can't block. That one's real good as a 1/1. God, that's a lot of freaking blue. Alright, let's see what our opponent's up to. Again, this is a lot more valuable in the... Ooh. Kind of wish they would have drawn the nothings there, but now we kind of know our opponent's got big game. Alright, they can attack in for 3, but it's only for 1, clearly, because we can just do this block. That's pretty fine. Maybe they'll use their their trample trick. I want to start racing our opponent down. Rubble Rel Raider, sure. That's not doing much. Okay. I really want to race our opponent down, but I don't feel like I'm able to right now. I'm gonna hold it back just a bit. I really want to get to that Sphinx of New Prov. That's a threat that can, like, push through pretty easily. Okay, they've got Pump on Gravelhide Goblin, which means their attacks here are a lot more dangerous than they look. Wall Lost Thoughts doesn't really get the job done. What are they holding if they're not attacking with a Gravelhide? Okay, thank you. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that's Pump on board. I want to kill your Clamor Shaman, my dude. I'm a full block on your Clamor Shaman. You don't have enough tricks in the world. So... yeah, not enough tricks in the world. You'd have to have +4, +2, and a second trick. Okay. Okay, that trade's 2 for 1 in my favor. Do what you gotta. These are both standing. That's a strong Guild Mage. 4/4 lands every turn. I'm gonna risk this. Thank you. Oh, I like both those. Both those get real nice. Let's continue to hold back for a while here. It's fine. If they want to go, like, offensive with their lands, they don't have enough of them right now. And we can actually kill a land for a 1-for-1. So... a couple times, actually. The reason I thought we had to crack the locket is because if I didn't crack the locket, I knew we weren't getting the Sphinx of New Prov, and we really needed to get the double white off of it. Our deck is... we have more blue sources than white sources, but we've drawn 5 of them. So at this point, with the 28 cards left in our deck there was a... between the gate and the plains, I think there was 7 white sources in the deck. Enough that I felt confident that, like, the odds were higher than 50-50. Well, land there's not exactly what I want to see, but we'll see how aggressive... oh, they're just going big. Okay. So let's get Sphinx of New Prov down. Trollbred Guardian. I think I might need to start getting offensive here. I don't know how I'm going to win this if I don't kill my opponent. So what's my... okay, actually, let's start clocking this. 18, 14, 9, 7... okay, attack with both now. Chump with this next turn. Sphinx's Insight plus Sentinel's Mark next turn. Attack for enough. Hopefully that's good. Okay. So put him to 14. Next turn we put him to 7. Next turn we put him to 0. We just need to not die in those 2 turns. Problem is, Trollbred Guardian, little big. Slight. Slight big. It big. It kind of big. Little big. I don't like it. It is most of their turn to put it up as a 7/7, and we can do a lot of blocking on the rest of their team if they do that. Hello. Alright, let's actually go this route. So the blocks here actually kind of make our opponent want to use the Gravelhide Goblin instead of this. Now, hopefully, yeah, they pump the Gravelhide Goblin, we take 5, go to 7. Next turn we go back up. Things could be good here. I think they have a bolt. Anyway, let's go ahead and draw some cards, gain us some life. Sphinx of the Guild Pact looking nice. Let's get down the Sentinel's Mark. Into combat we go. Alright, next turn we have lethal flying. We get Sphinx of New Prov plus Spirit of the Spires in. That's it. That's our lethal. Okay, really good to see that. That's incredibly good. That means we likely just have the game here. I don't think they can kill us from this position. Because Sphinx of New Prov has, you have to pay 2 to target it, so they can't fight it down, which is what I think they might be looking at with the Trollbred Guardian. The fight spell that's like... Fight like, I do hope you enjoyed it, Omni. Yeah, they can't fight the Sphinx. So, like, they just don't have the ability to kill me here. Fighting the wall fix that? No, because Sphinx of New Prov can block. Like, I can just put this thing in combat pretty effectively. Yeah, there's a little bit of risk, but... Alright, there we go. That's the all-out I was expecting. Let's see how to the sword we are being put. So this would be take 7. And then we should crack back for lethal. We even have Sphinx of the Guild Pack to replace it if things go poorly. So +4/+2 and trample is probably the trick that's the worst here for us, but it still clears out 2 of their board. I don't think, like, so they +4/+2 on the Gravelhide Goblin, but I need to block in case that trick exists anyway. I can't just, like, take the hit, because if I do that, then, like, oh, they kill me with it. So if they do that, we then get to play the Sphinx. Okay, go to 7. Maybe fight down my Syndicate. Maybe fight down my Spirit of the Spires. You don't have double green. Skewer, that was one of the cards I was expecting. Oh, maybe fight down my Spirit of the Spires? I think their other card in hand is fight. Oh! It doesn't matter what the card in your hand is. Beautiful. Attack for 7. You should have fought it down when you had the chance. By waiting the 1 turn, you gave me the out. Now that felt like a very good game to find the correct route to win. One of the points I like illustrating, it's one of my favorite points to illustrate, is that there's a lot of times where a game can look very grim, but you need to, like, find your escape route, find your path to victory. And that was why I did that math when our opponent was on 18. It's like, well, heck, what can I actually afford to attack with here? And it's like, well, okay, we need to attack with, put it to 14 because we know our draws, then the 7, then the 7. Should you attack with both if you didn't draw the counter? No, if I would not, because I would still want the 1/1 back. I don't think the one, well, that's a good thought. Because, so, if my opponent's final creature was not the 3/3 that can't be blocked by creature tokens, I would leave the token back, but it actually couldn't block the creature token. So, block the 3/3, which is what I would have wanted it to do. I think I would have attacked with it and then played Sphinx of the Guild Pact and then had enough. Anyway. Let's move on. But yeah, it's important to find those routes. You plan ahead. Planning ahead more than 1 turn can get you there. Ah! Thank you, Betty Pot, for the sub. I appreciate it a lot. I just come into the token text mattering. It didn't matter in the end, but if I did not have the counterspell for the fight spell that my opponent played, it would have mattered. It would have then at that point mattered. So, I don't like it, but I'm going to keep it. We have a lot more, we have 11 blue sources in our deck. Oh, please have a good night, my friend. Do not like the gruel on this, but I do like the... Oh, now that's... Oh, they mulled the 6. Oh, dear. Ah, President Arc, thank you for the sub. Thank you very much. Here's the most obvious counterspell in the world, my friend. I'm holding up the world's most obvious counterspell! Like, no, seriously, like, I don't think anything can look more obvious than the play I'm making right now. I don't. The reason I'm doing it though is because I do not think my opponent has a choice. I believe they must play that. Ooh, that is not what I wanted to do, but that was a mistake. I was trying to attack there, not activate my Senate Courier. That dropped my counter for no reason. A lot of the times when I do things like that, people say, well, why the heck do you play with auto tap on, you idiot? And the answer is, do you know how slow this game is if you don't play with the auto tap on? It's like the slowest thing in the world. I don't ever want to be playing this in how slow it is without auto tap on. Anyway, we get the eel, we got the Senate Courier with flying, we got the counterspell for real threats. The Zertok Goblin is not one of those. We can wall Lost Thoughts to learn, but learning isn't really important against... this card is a lot less important in this matchup. I love this card in Best of 3 because of what information you gain from it. It also, you know, look at our opponent's board. They might have +2/+2 fight. All it would do would kill my Skitter Eel. It's probably worth doing. It's probably worth them doing. Skewer. Sure. When Genju would multi-activate. Multi-activating Genju was so funny. Hey, Skitter Eel's back. Alright. Alright, so Slime Bind also gives us a nice, like, anti-fight spell, like, combat trick. If our opponent goes in with the Zertok Goblin and goes +4/+2, like, we can just minus it. But yeah, no, yeah, Genju of the field. So back before lifelink was a keyword, it would stack. So if you gave a thing multiple instances of lifelink, you would... Yeah, I'm gonna try this. I did mention I have the Slime Bind, so this should be still safe. Do I even care? Should I even risk putting this in combat? I'm gonna kill the 2/2. I'm not gonna get in combat with the other one. Zorch! Ah, that feels nice. That's exactly what I wanted that Slime Bind for. Still bemoan how they nerfed locks on Warhammer to lifelink. Yeah. Alright, I believe this one should be our favor unless something very strange happens. Killing our flyer is the first step for our opponent's victory. Following that, so they would need plummet. That's not the first step. To kill you! This is just the first step. Good old giant owl. At the end of that game, our owl is a 4/8. That feels nice. Kamei, 1970, born in the year, probably 1970 if we're being honest. This is what we call risky business. If we were on the play, there was a 0 chance I would keep this. If we were on the draw, there's a more than 0 chance. Terramanda makes me feel a little better about things. I do want to draw a blue for Thought Collapse, and I do want to draw a couple lands running. So, Azorius... So, Azorius versus Orzhov. Panthers, 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 Panthers. Cat time. Cat stream active. Okay, let's just get in here. The Terramander will keep getting in damage. Hopefully we'll... My hope is that we get a card out of our opponent by them trying to kill Terramander in a way we can Sentinel's Mark to counter. That would be a... Problem is, that's actually not a... Like, there aren't, like, a lot of -1/-1 style things in this format. There's, like, Exile if it's 3 or less power. Thirsty Shade. Ooh, I might be able to catch it in combat, then. Alright, well, let's get Viscopa down. So, I actually... There was a pause there, but I can't say they have anything, because the Twilight Panther is in play. So they actually do have this activation to disguise their hand. Viscopa Vampire is really nice here, as it trades off with a Thirsty Shade. Or better, hopefully with the Sentinel's Mark. And my hope is that we get to do better than trading with Thirsty Shade. We trade with something... We get 4 life, and then we trade again later. Thought Collapse is online next turn if we need that. Which I do like having Thought Collapse up on the first turn that Orzhov hits 5 to counter their Grasping Throw. Because it's like an 80% chance. Like, I'm not kidding. All out! I like that a lot. Because Viscopa Vampire gets to attack back then if you're all out. No blocks. Please pump your Shade. Okay, can't win them all. Okay, play a 2/3 then for me. If you'd be so kind. Like, land... I'll take a Thirsty Shade. That's something worth getting the Sentinel's Mark down on. Cool. Let's get in combat. We're going to gain some life. We're going to get some vigilance. We're going to get things rolling. They don't have the mana up for... They do not have the mana up for Exile this. They do have Roused Hour up. They can't pump their Shade. I think Roused Hour is their actual play here. Sack a cat. No, alright. Fine by that. That puts us on almost. Sorry, I thought that was 18 all, but that was lifelink on the Shade. So, both of us are on 3 lands. Okay, good, good. I'm fine with them getting out of that first. We'll get out of there soon, be able to play our Spear of the Spires, be able to play our Syndicate Messenger. We got a lot of good flyers coming up. And we've got to cancel to back us up in case things do not go our way. Those Twilight Panthers are going to stop attacking in full. We're going to just see seeing one of those come in, because they do want to be able to block Viscopa Vampire. Referred to as Roused Hour. Like, me and Gnome couldn't remember the name of the dang card. Oh my goodness. So we just called it Roused Hour. Like, the name, it's Final Payment or something like that, but I kept thinking the name of the card was Final Sacrifice, which is the name of a film. Okay, I want to see a tap out for a Thrall here. What? Oh, they clicked on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no. Yeah, I guess returning the favor of us in the previous match. Okay, 1-1. We got lifelink. They got lifelink. I ain't letting that resolve. We're mana light. I don't want to give our opponent that sort of resource advantage. What do we got down here? Pitiless Pontiff. There's our land. Let's... Honestly, I think I'm going to Exalted Exaltation and start flying in. Let's just get rolling. Every turn I can play another creature from here. But yeah, I don't want to give our opponent the mana right now. Okay, I will fight the Shade and see what they do. I'm willing to see what their trick is. I don't think it's going to be able to... It'll 2 for 2 me, and I'm fine with that, because I want to gain some life. If they're just trying to get creatures off my board... Oh, Exaltation is everything, yeah. So I'm willing to let them try to trade off here and kill off my Vampire. It's probably +2/+2. Okay, Death Touch is just fine, too. We gain some life. They get that off the board. We get to play out our Syndicate Messenger and start moving in some more for 3. But being at 18 is pretty nice. So, that's probably a better play here. Because that's a better attacker on the follow-up turn. Again, this card is... like... Poof. If you haven't... Okay, 5th land. I think it's a little late. Their removal spells probably can't kill the Sphinx right now, unless they've got Exile of 4 higher power. Is it power or toughness? I forget. I think it's power. I am blocking that. And I get to play the Grasping Thrall? Yeah! So, I've mentioned a couple times that, like, literally every, like, Orzhov player plays a Grasping Thrall on 5. I wasn't joking. Like, do you think this was a joke? It's not. Every Orzhov player plays Grasping Thrall on 5. It's every time. Alright. It's not the Vampire from 19, the 3/4, the Siege Rhino, but like it's at common, so you're more likely to have more of them instead of uncommon. God, that Vampire was unreasonable, just so you're aware. Okay, if that Thrall comes in, I'll double block it with the Not Sphinx the New Prof side of my board. Yeah, there's no such thing as like an Orzhov deck that isn't playing these, is the thing. Alright, I want this off the board, and I'm willing to trade a little bit of my board to do so. And mostly to see what our opponent's tricks are. I don't think they're going to let this happen, but I want to... Syndicate Messenger has the rebuy on death, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's an easy splash as well. Same with, I mean, it's some of the power of Exaltation, too. Yeah, splashes are not that hard in this format between gates and, I was gonna say keys, but keystones, key runes. They're not key runes, those were in the other one. I miss key runes, I love those. Clue stones, no. Lockets. Alright. Opponent gets a couple turns of chump blocking to go with it. Seems fine to me. Let's go ahead and get down... Spirit of the Spires. Think they're just going to be chumping this for a couple turns. God, that crunch noise. Those Panthers continue to come on in. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to block them, and I'm not going to feel happy about it. Gonna block the Fiend. I don't care about that. I don't want it in. Yeah, we'll take an extra one. That's fine. So yeah, at this stage, I actually might need to start blocking the Twilight Panthers, and I probably want to do it with the Skitter Eels. Shit! That's nice. Let's go ahead and, I guess, ditch a Skitter Eel. Yeah, we can get rid of a Skitter Eel. The gaining life isn't super relevant there. Let's go ahead and play out our Skitter Eel. Get in. Jump block it. Okay, they've got 2 cards left in hand. What's worst case? Absolution? I guess? Alright, I'm killing... Sorry, I'm killing your cats. I'm done taking damage. Sorry. Damage is over. Yeah. I'm so done taking damage here. Those cats got to trade heavy up. That's what they do. Would Absolution even matter here? Not really. Okay, so here, this is a turn I was kind of waiting on. This lets me go lock it into Courier. And then we get to attack for 8. This is actually more powerful than attacking with all. This is 8, and attacking with all will be 7. Yeah, I think Kaya's Wrath is the only card that could have relevancy, but I still have a Night Arbiter to back it, so let's move up. One thing I'm kind of annoyed at is that the best of 3 drafts don't have the little ranky thing, which feels weird. I think those cats hit us for like 12. Vagabond 87, born in the year of Sarkon, 1980. Stop it! Okay, I can keep this because of the Sage Row Savant, but stop it! Do I need to adjust the mana base to have 1 more planes? I might. Whatever, let's get Terramander down. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's make it look like we're having more problems than we should. Keep the gate, not the... Yeah, keep the gate. Because the gate lets us do like this sort of like funky turn next turn where I play gate pass and then look like I'm not doing anything. Oh, I'll block that. So remember, do not put the +1/+1 counter on Terramander. Sup, Fireblade. Yeah, I think we've found our target. I do not like the can't blockness of that card. Now they might attack because I won't trade. Well. Hello. The beatdown is here. Welcome to Angelic Exaltation. So next turn we get the Guild Mage, back it up with Slime Bind as removal. Okay, that's pretty good. I can sack that for 2 to me and 1 to my Pteramander. Okay, I kind of want to hold that. I'm actually going to force the sacrifice. Alright, so I think they sack their Footlight Fiend to kill my Pteramander. Yep. Because we're getting close. Like, you know, we're not, like, there, of course, but, like, you have to worry about it. Fifth land. Sure. Could really care less about that play. I think you still go aggressive here. Interesting. Okay, opponent's down to 4, so we have lethal next turn if we can... Lethal with any creature. Well, I like having lethal with any creature. Any hitter is good here. But I'm at 16, I've got a removal spell in hand. I might want to loot away the Sphinx of the Guild Pact if things get going a little weird. You've got to start blocking, you got to chump next turn. Alright, I'll take that. No problem. Okay, so they probably should bolt this before it hits them. This is going to be like... Oh, wow! Now we're chump blocking with Pteramander. Holy crap. Get in. Macabre Mockery. Alright, so they can, like, sack me down to 10. The Senate Guild Mage can heal me up, and I've got blockers, so I don't feel like I can die from where I'm currently at. Though, like... Perfect. Murder! Perfect. Not my hand. Alright, Nissa. Indeed, this one is not mine. I ain't keeping this pile. Well, they're on the bolt too, so this is fair. Okay, good. Scry. Loot. We'll keep that. Hopefully we can get a land on top so we can play the vampire on turn. Yeah, that's fine. Night Arbiter's, I think, real big to have in this opener. Our opponent, if our opponent is Azorius, we're going to have a slow game going on. I'm going to go with the Sage of Savant next turn to try to ensure our a little better draws here. Simic, okay. Ooh, now I actually don't care about drawing too much land. That might make the Guild Mage the better play, because at this point I am actually okay with all draws. Yeah, let's go Guild Mage. Because I want to save the Sage of Savant for a little later when we're digging for something real. Drawing the Plains means we have perfect mana for any card we draw. Okay. Sometimes. It gains life. It draws cards. But every once in a while, it deals 2 damage. What's my opponent have? Slime Bind? I would love it if they slime bound this thing. Sometimes Wizard is bear. Sometimes Wizard is bear. Where's my opponent at? Okay, they had to get up for a moment. That is fine. Okay, let's get the Viscopa Vampire down. It's our best aggressive line. Hey, there's that Slime Bind. As I spoke about, Slime Bind is definitely up our opponent's alley. Okay, now that we are, on land, Sagero Savant looks really nice for ensuring we never draw garbage like this. I don't want Slime Bind right now. I want threats. I want to be able to deal lethal damage to my opponent. Okay. Let's get this down now. Zenit Courier tells me they might actually be off color as well as off mana. Ooh. Interesting. So yeah, our opponent is definitely off color as well. Warden is very powerful. I like having Skitter Eel down. We're gonna loot. I don't care about Island. I would rather have, you know, our quite obvious draw here. Alright, our opponent left up Frilled Mystic mana, which is why I didn't play a spell there. It's a little bit too... With so many cards in our opponent's hand and then passing on 4, I had a fear of just slamming down one of our best threats. So, wanted to wait on that just a little bit. We already have a 5/5 on the board. The 5/5 on the board is a 3-turn clock. 2 if I commit with my other attackers. Or use Law Mage's Binding to confirm a kill. Okay. Okay. Get down the order as well. Question you might be thinking in your head is, Jens, are you seriously going to loot on this? And the answer is yes. The Azorius friend in our hand is one of our most powerful cards, but it is not the singular best card we could have at that position. And until the card in our hand is the singular best card we could have in that position, I'm still willing to make that flip. There were a couple other cards I would want to have in the position we were in. Being able to draw into, not many though. This is probably like number 3 out of ours. Angelic Exaltation is number 1, I think, as far as board affecting. Anyway, let's see if we can make this the flat 7-0. Merjad. Okay, this looks nice. I like the Sage's Row Savant to maybe find our mana for this. We got Counterspell, we got a 4-drop, even if we don't find our mana for this. I'm in. That looks very nice. Gonna keep him there 7 as well. That's good. Ah, the Watchdog. I talked about this being a strong choice. Alright, so let's Savant try to find a Plains. Alright, Plains detected. Let's go ahead and keep that on top. Put the eel on bottom. Hopefully their 3 is something worth countering. Very happy to be able to play Sphinx and New Prov. Does not appear that their 3 is going to be anything. Alright, let's get down the threat then. This one is the best threat to be playing here, because even if they have a removal spell for it, like, you can't Rouse Dower this right now. Like, Rouse Dower costs 4 to target it, so you can't just, like, Rouse Dower end step. You gotta land Rouse Dower sorcery. Interesting. They might Rouse Dower it anyway, I'd be fine with that. If they don't, I feel like I'm not gonna do any other threat playing. I'm just gonna let it untap. Alright, it's on the ground. So we want to go ahead and give ourselves a new threat. Let's go with Skitter Eel, I think. Okay, 3 colors out of our opponent. I wonder what their splash is. Right now, all we know is that white's their main, and that's kind of what we know from their cards and their lands. Okay, it looks like... Ooh, Ill-Gotten. That's a strong one. Alright, I'm actually going to pass here. We're going to hold up counter spells and just use them as we need. We can use Sentinel's Mark to draw through. That's a good thing to counter. Let's go ahead and take that out. Put the counter on our Sage Row Savant to allow it to attack. And take back our turn. Sweet. Get that gate down, hold up our counterspell some more. Cool thing about holding up the counterspell, if they don't play anything worthwhile, we can just up our Skitter Eel. And we are doing decent damage here. Putting them down to 12, getting a lot of power on the board. Our hand has a lot of good flying, evasive threats. Yeah. 7 mono. Alright, what's your big... What's the big, sledgehammer here? That's a sledgehammer! Azorius Skyguard. Flying first strike, your opponent's creatures have -1 power. So we are not going to allow the sledgehammer to resolve. That's mill 3. What do we learn? We learned that blue seems like a splash. Senate Griffin's kind of a mono-white thing. Alright, feel like we can attack in and maybe play out Syndicate Messenger, pass it back. Leaves up the mark. Okay, we've got our opponent under a lot of pressure is a really good place here. We haven't even had time to pump our skitter eel, which is great. Now there's that debtor's transport. Okay, I don't feel like that's going to be too relevant. We can have the eel kind of deal with that on the ground if need be, or even Sage Savant. I think that's more of a blocker than anything else. I think we just get in over it. We got a lot of flyers still going on here. Let's go ahead and, well, kind of want to hold that Sentinel's mark. We'll use that on the follow-up turn. Yeah, so the blue's the splash. Our opponent has definitely committed to the black. So let's move on in. We'll see how they feel about Sage Savant here. If they're willing to trade their 6-drop for our 2-drop, I'll feel pretty good about that. Maybe we get their Watchdog off the table. So, one thing to remember, our opponent's life total is a little higher than you think. They can sack this at instant speed to gain 4. So, as they've been kind of draining us with this real strong... This enchantment does a lot of work, by the way. Just want you to know that. Okay. So, Debtor's Transporter really can't get in. Ooh, okay. So here we just have attacking for 4. I've got Essence Capture up for good threats. I've got Sentinel's Mark up for, like, if our opponent goes for a 5 damage, which they could have, the Justice. And we can up our Eel at end step to finally have a real threat. So yeah, if we Essence Capture, we can Essence Capture. We can put it on the Impassioned Order if I was feeling spicy. I don't feel like that's a relevant threat. It's Death Touch. No, it's not relevant enough. Save the counter for something bigger. So they've got to pop their trick here. Does mean giving up the ground a little bit, but, like, we have the air, so I don't feel like it's a bad thing. Especially, like, they have to pop their enchantment on their next turn. I want to make sure they can't take the air. That's the most important thing to me. So, finally, you do evolve that. Slam down a land, get in for 0. Because they're going to pop their ill-gotten gains here. Unless their final card in hand is something relevant. Ooh, maybe it's a Rouse Dower, sack Debtor's Transport? That'd be okay. Okay, sack the cat. So that gets that down. Sure. Okay, opponent's in top deck mode. Can force the issue next turn, like make them give it up. I would like to know our opponent's final card in hand, if possible. Basically, I'd love for our opponent to play something here for me to counter it. Shit! Okay, that's lifelink for some. That's not so bad, though. That's actually a lot better than it could be. So, one of the things that's going to be real nice about this is that they're going to come on in. They're going to gain 6. But we're going to put Skitter Eel plus our Sentinel's Mark in the way. I believe that should knock the game out. Because they're going to have to start chump blocking the eel very quickly. We have essence capture to make sure that nothing ever comes down. We hold that land. So yeah, let's just... That eel has to be blocked. They are trying. This should be lethal. Attack for 10, you can gain 4. That makes it 10 all. Alright. We arrested the ghost and therefore made it out. And a reward? Sure, I like Lightning Strike. 7-0! That gets us our entire entry back in gems, plus some packs. I'll take a Mythic Wildcard, sure. Ah, good old hero. Alright. Anywho, I think what I'm gonna do is do another one. I did say I did have time on tap for 2. So let's make it happen. Give me just a moment to flip the recording switch so that these get flipped into different videos and then make it happen.